Welcome back to Unmissable as we deep dive into Uttarkashi flood fury. A devastating cloudburst has hit Dharali village near Gangotri Dham in Uttarkashi, triggering massive flash floods. Torrents of water tore through hillside, sweeping away homes, vehicles and belongings. At least 50 people are feared to be missing, and many remain trapped in debris. The Kheer Ganga stream in the Harsil area overflowed violently, submerging entire settlements and damaging several hotels and private properties. This devastation is not new to the hilly state that fall under the Himalayan range, especially with the state of Uttarakhand that has witnessed catastrophic floods since 1970s. Look at the visuals. Entire township was wiped away. Entire township was wiped away. And the worst aspect is that this is all man-made. And as per the study done by the Department of Water Resources Development and Management, Indian Institute of Technology, Roorkee, in 22 over the past 30-40 years, natural disasters have become more frequent and severe. Look at these visuals. People did not even have 1 minute, a second to save themselves. And this is all man-made. Because what came down was silt, not soil. What came down was cement, not soil. What came down was remnant or remains of the construction that was happening. And it is because of this construction, for dams, for roads, for buildings, that our rivers are full of silt. Development over riverbed is replacing farmland, while deforestation and ritual activities like cremations are adding to air and water pollution. These changes are increasing flood risk and harming both the ecosystem and economy. But more than that, it is a reflection of a bad development model. And on this, let me invite A. Vice Marshal G.P. Sharma, President SkyMet, and Harjeet Singh, Founding Director, Satat Sampada Climate Foundation. A. Marshal Sharma, my question to you is, a lot of people say that this is a natural disaster. I would argue that this is man-made, climate change, bad practices of construction, and treating Uttarakhand as a resource mine, and not to treat it with respect that it nurtures the entire Indian subcontinent. To you, sir.
See, rightly you said, we cannot say that this is totally man-made, because there are natural calamities. They are there in the monsoon season. The mountains become very, very deceptive. The weather activity that leads to such catastrophic events also. You see, the monsoon activity remains suspicious for the mountains because of the difficult terrain which they have over those areas. This monsoon season has been very, very active. Right from there was a slow start in between, but after that, after picking up the pace, it has been very, very fast pace, and the rainfall has been phenomenal. And particularly the situation where we are in now of that monsoon phase, this is very, very critical, and it particularly for the mountains, because the monsoon is in a break situation now, which means all along the foothills, they become vulnerable. Uttarakhand becomes vulnerable, Himachal Pradesh becomes vulnerable, all this stretch not at the same time. But then you will find another 4, 5, 6 days, till 11th of this month, you will find that the rainfall will increase in these areas. Now, you said that is it a man-made? Yes, partly, because it's a collapse of policy planning. It's a collapse of rules which we are not following. Every time the disaster is there, I don't think we learn anything from that. Okay, where are the guidelines? Why are there are so many buildings, so much of construction next to the bank of the rivers or the water bodies? Obviously, we have altered the route of the water bodies with this unplanned construction, and when the cloudburst happen, enormous amount of water will drop on the ground, will dump on the ground, and that water has to find its way. Where will it go? It will do these type of catastrophic events only. Okay, so it's a yes, I agree with you. It's a man-made also, But then you cannot forget climate change is a reality. These events are becoming frequent, more intense. So it's a mix. I will put it simply that it's a mix of that. But then uh, this particular thing which has happened, it's not the first time. We saw something happening in 2010 in Leh Ladakh. We saw Kedarnath in 2013. At this very place in 2018, it was another disastrous event. Okay, 2021 was another one where a hydrological station that was washed away. So it is one after the other, and possibly it may not be the last time unless we take care. We cannot prevent these natural events. We cannot control these events. We cannot
So
do
let me take
anything about it.
let me take opening comments from Harjeet Singh also. Harjeet, the larger issue is in name of sustainable tourism, ecotourism, entire areas have become full with people. We have development models where you have riverbed hotels in Manali. Construction is happening. I understand the importance of security, but in the names of security, massive construction has been taking place in Himalayas. Power projects are being done, and the point which I was trying to make was what came down that river was not soil. The silt came down. It's a reflection of a poor economic model of a state where poor people are now suffering. What is the road ahead, Harjeet?
Well, Kartikeya, first of all, let me agree with you entirely that it is a man-made, and Mr. Sharma has talked about one side of the disaster, exactly what you are saying. It's the kind of unsustainable, unscientific, so-called development model that we have created. I don't know whether we should even call it a development model, because what we are witnessing is pure destruction. It's just a matter of time. It looks like development, but look at what it results into. And this is all man-made, so we cannot call it a natural disaster because we have ignored science. We have built recklessly in an age of global warming, and this was the tragedy we saw coming. And what we see in the end is only reactive apologies. Let me go back to the other side of man-made before we talk about what is required. So when Mr. Sharma said that climate change is happening, I fully agree with him, and let me dwell a little bit more into that. When we say global warming, what does
Climate
it
change is
mean?
also man-made.
Exactly the
Climate
point.
change is
So
also
the
man-made.
Exactly the point. So the other side is also man-made. Global warming has been caused by the fossil fuel emissions, which means burning coal, oil, and gas. Of course,
Absolutely.
rich countries are
Absolutely.
largely responsible for the crisis, but the fact is, even a country like India is stuck with the same model of development. While we are making great strides on renewable energy, our dependence on fossil fuel remains. So let's understand global warming. A warmer atmosphere holds more moisture, and let me give you a data. About 7% more moisture is held for every degree Celsius of warming. Now, what does it mean? Not just more rain, more extreme rain. That's exactly what we saw. So moisture is unleashed in shorter, more violent bursts like these cloudbursts, and that's what shattered Uttarkashi. So the other side is also man-made. So I would call it 100% man-made
Okay.
disaster.
So
It's
Harjeet,
all about
Harjeet.
atmospheric physics,
So
right?
how do we balance the imperative of development with environmental requirement? How do we create that balance, sir?
The, the first thing that we have to do is to stop looking at development versus environmental debate. There's no debate. It's about development and environment going hand in hand, and it is possible. There are many models around the world where you see how we are going to make sure that the development is green and resilient. What does it mean? We need to protect the green spaces. We need to respect our water bodies and not do unscientific reconstruction by killing those water bodies. We need to understand the geological zones that we are in, and we totally ignore that and do the unregulated construction of hotels, roads, and even hydropower projects. We are talking about Uttarakhand, a highly ecologically fragile zones. So what are we really doing? We are choking our rivers. We are reducing their capacity to carry excess water. We are making floods far more destructive. So we should stop ignoring science. We should definitely crack down on the deforestation, and we should create our own model of development based on the ecology and not copy the model from the West, which has been
Absolutely,
destructive in so many
absolutely,
ways.
absolutely. Mr. Sharma, Closing comments from you. Do you think we need to reconsider hard infrastructure projects which are taking place in Himachal, Uttarakhand, Northeast, sir? From roads to power projects. Do we need to recalibrate it, sir?
Yes, you see, in my last comments also, I did not absolve the authorities or the work which has been carried out in the name of development over that area. It's a very, very fragile pocket. Himalayans, they are the oldest, they are the newest ranges, and Uttarakhand out of that is the very, very fragile pocket. In Uttarakhand also, between Garhwal and the Kumaon, I always found Garhwal region that was more susceptible, more vulnerable. Okay, so while I have not absolved the authorities for their lapses which have been there, yes, we have contributed, they have contributed to these disasters. But then at the same breath, I said that the natural calamities, be it if it tsunami comes, what can you do? Nothing much can be done. Okay, if some other, the natural cyclone is there, we can mitigate it. We can prepare ourselves. We can prepare, but the natural calamity, these events are becoming very rightly, because of the climate change, they are becoming very, very
I
frequent,
agree
very,
with you,
very
sir.
intensive. That is there. We need to, you see, nothing has been done in the last COP 26, 27, 28, 29, 30 also will happen. I'm afraid nothing much will be done. This
Okay.
will go on. As
Okay.
Mr. Harjeet has brought out, the more.
If you ask me, I've
Yeah,
really run
yeah.
short of time, sir. I'm really sorry that I'm interrupting you. I've really run short of time. But my heart goes out. Such a beautiful place, Himalayas. Any person who has grown up in around Delhi or in India would vouch for the beauty of Kumaon, would vouch for the beauty of Uttarakhand, would vouch for the beauty of Chamoli, would vouch for the beauty of Pithoragarh, would vouch for the beautiful ridges of Mussoorie to Nainital to Harsil, Yamnotri, Gangotri, I can just go on, but you need to take care of it. And you need to really take care of it, not by just speaking in the studios, but we really need to take care of it by doing something. Maybe we need another Chipko Andolan, but that's for another day. But please don't go away, stay with us as we slip into a short break, because one more deep dive remains, and that deep dive is on Bangladesh unveils July declaration.